Welcome to AG's Ace. The big question is Sanju, Samson, or Rishabh Pant, who is the better captain? It's a very, very difficult question to answer. And I know that there are thousands of fans of both these players, and they are currently the flavor of the season. They are both young captains, and it's a big responsibility which the IPL franchises have invested in them, given them that to shoulder. So let's see how they are faring, and so far, how the actual stats hold up. Let's talk about Rishabh Pant first. Now, the 23-year-old is captaining an IPL franchise for the first time after regular skipper Shreyas Iyer was ruled out due to a shoulder injury. It will be safe to say that Pant is playing responsibly, but the burden of captaincy seems to have affected his natural game, which is basically out-and-out attack, as he has refrained himself from playing those audacious shots he is known for. Rishabh would look to put aside the burden of leadership and get back to his original style of batting, because while he is getting some runs on the board, but it's not the same Rishabh Pant that you associate him with. So, as of now, Rishabh Pant's side is placed, which is Delhi Capitals, is placed third on the IPL points table with 4 wins and 2 losses from 6 matches. The DC captain, who's renowned for his power hitting, hasn't been his usual self, and proof of it was his knock against RCB. Despite facing 48 balls and scoring a half century, Pant failed to hit a single six, which came as a surprise considering his exceptional ability, which we all know that. Previously, he had scored 51 of 32 balls against Rajasthan Royals. His knock was laced with 9 boundaries, but again, not a single six. Before the IPL, it was a different story. And it was a very attacking Rishabh Pant, who was known for his aggression, for his sense of humor, and all of that. A quick look at his stats. His stats in IPL include the 74 matches he has played, where he has scored 2,262 runs at an average of 35.90 and a blistering strike rate of 149.70. He has scored 114 50s in the lucrative lead. He has also taken 50 catches and effected 12 stumpings in the IPL, but currently the entire onus is now on his captaincy, and a lot of adverse criticism has come in after they lost to RCB by a single run. Viru Sehwag said, "I won't give him even 5 marks out of 10 for his captaincy, because you just can't make such mistakes. If your main bowler isn't bowling, your calculations go wrong. That's what captaincy is all about. You need to take care of that. A captain must manage his bowling resources according to the situation. You need to learn from that." Sehwag also said that Rishabh needs to play smart cricket if he wants to be a smart captain. Ashish Nehra was again tough on Rishabh. He said the way Rishabh batted in the middle overs and the number of runs he missed out on during the death overs, that was nothing but a poor strategy. If Hetmeyer had lost his wicket early, we would have seen DC losing by 25 runs and not by 1 run. They planned their chase quite poorly. Pragyan Ojha also said that the way he has led his team, somehow I get a feeling that in the years to come, if Rishabh bats the way he has been batting and shows his maturity, he can be the captain. Of course, Pragyan compares him to Saurav Ganguly and Dhoni as 2 idols. He can basically progress and look up to and basically flower into their league, but that is going to take quite a bit of time, and it is still far away. Of course, he makes a point that Ravi Shastri could help him develop further. Very interestingly, Ricky Ponting, head coach, says he's done a really good job, no doubt about it. I mean, he is his own man. He wants to do it his own way. He's, not someone who likes an overload of information, which you like, which I think is a good sign for him, because, even Shreyas was a bit of the same early on in the captaincy. So what he's basically trying to say in simpler terms is that both Shreyas and Rishabh Pant like to go on their gut feel and not so much on stats and a lot of the other planning that goes in. But that is easier said than done. Let's come to Sanju Samson. Now, after losing a last ball thriller against Punjab Kings by 4 runs, RR did defeat DC to get back to winning ways, but it soon went back to 2 back-to-back losses before turning the tide in the match 18 of the ongoing season when they beat KKR by 6 wickets. Now, the Royals have also had problems by injuries to major overseas players, as they have lost Ben Stokes. They don't have Jofra Archer, and that is creating quite a bit of problem for them. Uh, this, one of the most important comments came from Pragyan Ojha, where he said that he feels that Rajasthan Royals are 11 individuals on the field rather than a team. And Viru Sehwag agreed with him and said in Hindi that शायद बाकी प्लेयर्स खुश ना हो कि उनको कप्तान क्यों बनाया गया है, लेकिन ये बात फैक्ट है कि एक प्लेयर अगर अपने में ही रहता है और उसको कैप्टन बना दिया जाता है तो उससे भी टाइम लगता है सबसे मिलने में जुलने में. Basically, what he's saying that if an introverted player who likes to stay within himself on the field is being catapulted into the position of captaincy, it takes them a while to basically get everyone together, and that might be impacting him. Of course, Viru Sehwag also advised Sanju that when a bowler is getting hammered, he should talk to that bowler a little more than what he does. And he did say, in contrast, Rishabh keeps talking to the bowlers and is more proactive on the field, chattering from behind the stump. Sanju is a little quieter, but that doesn't mean that his mind is not ticking. He's an excellent batsman too. Where my take is concerned, I feel both are young men who have amazing potential. Both are keeper batsmen and now captain. They have been under the scanner as some misses happened, which is part of the course, but you've got to take it. For me, the way Rishabh gave that last over to Marcus Stoinis against de Villiers was a terrible decision. Stoinis had not bowled in that match, and he gave away 23 runs in that single over against a very set de Villiers. DC did well to lose by a run, but the major push came from Hetmeyer, not Rishabh. I also feel Rishabh is a bit low on tactics, while Sanju seems a bit isolated, which was pointed out by Sehwag and Pragyan Ojha. So they need to work on those respective fronts. Sanju could gain by getting a bit more chirpy and shepherd the flock better. After all, Indian cricket is known for its massive egos. Let's not forget that. And finally, when it comes to this comparison between who's better, Sanju Samson and Rishabh Pant, currently I would tend to believe that Sanju is a little ahead, but he needs to, like the other former players are suggesting, get the flock together. Rishabh needs to change his batting style, go back to what he was, and not make that blunder by bringing in a guy like Stoinis in that last over when he hadn't bowled. Otherwise, things could get better for both of them from here on. Thanks for watching AG's Ace.